Dear students of Standard 9, welcome to my zoology class. This is Akmal Hussain, lecturer biology, Square High School and College. Now I am going to take a zoology class of Standard 9, chapter 7. Today's topics are gaseous exchange and diseases of respiratory system. What will we learn from this class? We will be able to know about gaseous exchange in human, asthma and tuberculosis. Breathing, the process of taking air into and expelling it from the lungs. In normal sense, taking gases from atmosphere to lung as well as the drive out the gases from lung to atmosphere is called breathing. Breathing will be divided into two. Number one, inhalation. The action of inhaling or breathing in is called inhalation. That means inhalation is the process through which oxygen enriched gases entered into our lung is called inhalation. And number two, exhalation, the process of action of expelling. That means the process through which the gases with carbon dioxide expelled out or drive out from lung to atmosphere is called exhalation. Now, the process of inhalation and exhalation. Follow the picture. Inhalation. Intercostal muscle, that means the muscle between ribs will contract it. That's why the chest cavity will increased. On the other hand, diaphragm will contract it. That's why it curved and down. The total volume of chest cavity will increased. In that situation, the gases from atmosphere entered into our lung. This is inhalation. On the other hand, exhalation. Intercostal muscle of ribs relaxed. The chest cavity will contracted as well as diaphragm relax or normal shape. That's why the total volume of chest cavity decreases. The lung will contracted or squeezed. The gases with carbon dioxide drive out from lung to atmosphere is called exhalation. Inhalation and exhalation combinedly also called the external respiration. Gaseous exchange means the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide. Basically, it occurs in between the air and blood vessels of the lung. Gaseous exchange occurs in two steps such as absorption of oxygen and giving out or expelling of carbon dioxide. That means carbon dioxide transportation or transport. Absorption of oxygen. Gaseous exchange in lung takes place by diffusion. In blood, oxygen does not remain free. A large amount of oxygen combines with the hemoglobin of the red blood corpuscles and form oxyhemoglobin. It is a temporary compound. Follow the figure. Oxygen entered into blood capillaries and mixed with RBC, especially the hemoglobin part of RBC. What is hemoglobin? Hemoglobin is the combination of iron pigment and protein. This oxygen mixed with hemoglobin and form a temporary compound named oxyhemoglobin. As a oxyhemoglobin, blood moves from alveolar capillary to artery to different part of our body. Then they entered into the intercellular space. What is intercellular space? The space between two or more cells. And finally, by the help of lymph, this oxygen entered into the cell or tissues of our body. Here, oxyhemoglobin again break down into free oxygen and oxyhemoglobin. Oxyhemoglobin back into the blood and free oxygen entered into the cell. Then this oxygen take part in reaction into the cell. It helps to produce the energy as well as carbon dioxide. This carbon dioxide entered into the plasma of blood and finally they reach to the alveolar capillary. Alveolar capillary too entered into the alveolus as a carbon dioxide and drive out from our body. Carbon dioxide transport. Carbon dioxide at first diffuses through the cell membrane into the lymph and then from the lymph enters the plasma by diffusing through blood capillaries. Carbon dioxide is transported in the form of carbonic acid, bicarbonate and carbamino. Thereafter, carbon dioxide mainly transport in blood as bicarbonate about to 65% to the lung. Then carbon dioxide forced out diffusing through blood capillaries and alveoli. Now, common diseases of respiratory tract. Number 1, tuberculosis. Persons who are weak, do hard physical labor and live in unhygienic environment and suffer from malnutrition or live with tuberculosis patients are liable to suffer from this disease. Cause one type of bacteria named Mycobacterium tuberculosis. Mycobacterium tuberculosis is the scientific name of pathogen of tuberculosis. That's why we have to underline it separately. Picture of Mycobacterium tuberculosis. Diagnosis. This disease can be found out by skin test and X-ray. Symptoms of tuberculosis. Number 1, body weight is gradually lost and the patient became weak. Number 2, occasional cough with bleeding. Number 3, fever in the evening and sweat at night. Number 4, pain in the chest and back, occasional stomach disorder. Occasional disorder Occasional stomach disorder means loose motion or diarrhea. Remedy: the patient should be given nutritious food. According to the advice of a physician, treatment should be started quickly. Long treatment is needed and should be continued till complete cure. Treatment must not be discontinued without the advice of a physician. Prevention: preventive measures for tuberculosis is BCG, whose full form is Bacillus calmette-guerin vaccine. Newborn baby should be vaccinated within as soon as possible. Tuberculosis patient should be kept separately. Best suggestion is to send the patient to the hospital. Cough and spit of the patient should be buried under the soil because they contain large number of germs. Mouth should be covered with handkerchief when coughing and sneezing. Children should not be allowed to go tuberculosis patient. Then asthma. Asthma is not an infectious or contagious disease. Cause of asthma: some allergic foods like prawn, beef, hilsa, brinjal, etc. Dust in air, smoke or pollen grains when inhaled. In children, cough and cold is the main cause of this disease. Exception of asthma: asthma is a disease who shows some exception. A difference from other disease is that a seasonal variation is noted. Symptoms of asthma increase in certain seasons found in year. Symptoms of asthma: number 1, suddenly breathing trouble shoot up. Sometimes breathing is about to stop. The patient tries to breathe forcibly. Number 2, suffocation, lip became blue, the vein of neck swell. Number 3, the alveoli of lung don't get proper supply of oxygen or the supply is blocked. As a result, the patient is in trouble. Number 4, rapid deep breathing is attempt and wheezing and whisting sound in the chest. Sometimes white colored cough comes out with cough but no fever. The patient can't take hot food. During inspiration, the skin between two ribs is drawn inward. Remedy: avoid of taking allergic foods. The patient should live in well ventilated and well lighted house. Avoid allergic foods coming in contact with things such as woolen cloths that can intensify the disease. Follow doctor's advice and avoid dust and smoke. Stay away from smoking tobacco, jorda, gul, etc. Serve liquid diet to the patient. Dear students, there are some other diseases mentioned in your text like bronchitis, lung cancer, tumor, etc. You have to read it yourselves. Maintain social distance, adhere to hygiene rules. Thank you.